lot of work. I don't know about this business sometimes. So I'm wondering, are we having fun yet? Well, hello and welcome back. I'm back down at the campsite where I tried out my new little hot tent a couple of weeks ago. And today there is a rain warning in effect for the east coast of Vancouver Island. So I'm going to give it another go. Many of you sent in some amazing suggestions, and today I'm going to implement some of them. And the rain is increasing as we go here. So I got to get the stove in there and then I can work on the inside. All right, what I've done here is I've put a tarp down. It's a good quality tarp. It's from my MSR 2-person tent. And this is what I'm going to have underneath my bedding. I have put the sheet of Tyvek that I cut for my sleeping area last time. And I'm just going to use that so I have something to set my chair on and put anything that I want to keep off the damp ground. And we'll see how a Little Miss Light Outdoors does for tonight, because inside you can see that this one corner is pretty wet, but it hasn't seeped up as far as the tarp. So that's good. There's a little bit of water around the base of the stove, and that's from the stove jack. All right, here we are. Here's the back of the tent, and there is some water pooling here. This ground is rock hard. Water coming in this corner. It's leaked under the tent from this pool here, and so I've started to dig a bit of a trench, but because the ground is so hard, you kind of need a pick to get through it. I've been out here for half an hour, and I'm using the back of the hammer to try and dig through some of this really hard pack. So I'll show you what I've done. Okay. So the leaking started a little bit in this corner. So I've just dug around here, and I've dug a trench and built a little bit of a wall to try and keep the puddle from filling it back up. I've flipped the water off of the snow skirt, and I've also put in a small drainage ditch here from where the water was pooling. It's definitely a little bit less, but it has a long ways to go. So 2 people suggested trenches. So I guess now this is plan C. Do you ever notice how it doesn't feel like you're settled until you've got the fire going or your kitchen organized and your bed made? And hopefully no leaks. I had a look over in the corner, and it seems to have drained the water out of there. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that's it. I'll be edgy though for quite a bit this evening. Anyway, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate all the help that people have sent my way. And so I guess now this is plan C with plan B and plan A all combined. So who knows where we'll be. Rain warning for this area tonight. It's a basic old burger tonight. There you go. All right. Pretty good. It's been started raining about 11 o'clock this morning. So it's been going on now for quite a while. So it's not surprising if there's a little bit of water seeping around the edges here. One of the positive things about having a floorless tent is that when it is rainy and muddy, if you don't have a floor, you can just kind of walk in and out. And on the side here where I have the tie back and there's nothing right at the door and in the center, just the ground, anything mud and water just comes off your shoes and you don't tromp mud and wet all over the place. So that's an advantage of not having a full tarp. I'm going to go out and I'll take you out there with me and we'll check the trenches. All right, out we go. See this back up here. All right, where are we at? Okay, well, I'm glad I came out to do this. Not that I wanted to, but yeah. It's just I've got to dig some more. So here we go. It is coming though. This does seem like an awful lot of work. Up here, see what we've got here. This is the part that there was still water coming in the tent a little bit. Just in this corner, I've got to get the slope better. So I can see it's moving now. Shovel. Well, it's a trowel. Are we having fun? Oh gosh, yes. We're having a lot of fun. All right. I don't know about this. Sometimes. If we got any slope here, still missing some running here. Okay, more. Man. I'm telling you, it's still running back in. I've got to dig out. I've got to dig out deeper here so I can get this piece to start draining more. All right, get back to you to dig deeper. But I think I have an actual slow stream of water. I don't know if you can see it moving, but it is draining out. I've had to dig a canal. Goodness, this is... Okay. Look at all this. I mean, this is not abnormal rain for us to have. Yeah, well, this is what it takes. I guess that's what it takes. So I can see I've got to dig this little trench out, secondary trench. It's not as important, but I want to be able to drain the water away from the tent, which caused the problem in the first place. And you know, it wasn't, I checked and checked to make sure that I had a good incline away from the tent, but you know, there's always a little dip somewhere. So, yeah. I think this is as much as I can do right now. So I've got quite a lot away from this corner, and the water level has gone down. And it wasn't leaking in the back here, so, or this corner, so that's good. So hopefully we get the drain going down here and down out through there. Then we have the tributary trying to drain this area, and it joins up with the main river. It's like creating a river system here. So, all right, well, I'm adequately wet now, but, oh yeah, it's definitely gone down. So I think I'll go back in the tent, and in a couple of hours before I go to bed, I'll come out and check it all again. So let's go in, and round 3, 4, I'm kind of losing track where we're at, but I will persevere. All right, see you in a while. Okay. Well, this doesn't look great, but it's not too bad. I think what I'll need to do is just get the trowel and trowel out a little bit to make sure that it keeps going for the night. But it's not as bad as it was, even though it's continued to rain. So I think we're on the right path. All right, I'll be back with you in a bit, and we'll see what we can do here. This corner is good, and the rest of it is sort of below the level of the tent, and it is draining slowly down. You can see it moving ever so slowly, but while I was scraping it out, it was moving a lot faster. Still moving. So much water in the ground on either side. You know, but I don't think I can do much more tonight. Well, I'm kind of, you can't even see me. Oh, there I am. So I kind of had it outdoors for tonight. And unless something really unexpected and untoward occurs, I think this is my last trip out. So I'm going in, I'm going to pack it up, and I'm going to go to bed. It's almost 9:30. And hopefully I won't see you till the morning. All right, good night. Well, good morning. Well, that was quite the night, I've got to say. It was, I think it rained to some degree for at least 13 to 14 hours. After I finished checking the trench and trenching it out again, I came in the tent, and I was going to settle down and go to bed, but then the wind came up, and the rain started to really pour from the gusts of wind. The wind did not really disturb the tent very much at all, but it did force some smoke back out the stove because I had it dampened down. So I sat up for a while. I just thought, you know, it's better to, I'm not going to sleep anyway if I lie down. So I just sat up and just kept an eye on things, and everything was fine. I think I went to bed actually around 11 and didn't go to sleep for a while because it was still pretty windy, but no problems. So my little tent and my stove held up really well. The bed stayed dried, and I'm dry, and I'm just going to sit back and warm up a little bit. That is really good. I'm out, and once again, good morning. Let's have a look and see what happened to this tent overnight. Let's start with the outside. You've got the door here. I had the door open a little bit in the night for some ventilation at the bottom. I also had the two-way zipper here open down to about to here. And despite all that heavy rain, this flap never let any water in. So that was good. So there was some ventilation. Thinking about condensation there, which we'll get into in a minute. Now, the outside, nothing's moved. The wind didn't displace anything, although I can see there's still a lot of water on the snow skirt. But as you come around to this corner, there's a nice little pool there, which is actually on the tent. That could have been fixed. And here's the trench. It doesn't look like much this morning, does it? But, I can assure you, it was something else last night. A little bit of tent water on that corner. Didn't seem to come in much though now. And light outdoors. And everything looks fine. The vents are at the top and the chimney was guyed out. So no problems there. Inside, you can see the distinct line where the condensation starts and stops. I think that's because the stove was on again and kept the condensation to a low level. I was able to place my sleeping bag bedding so that it didn't rub up against there. This is in the first areas that was problematic and made me have to go outside and check to see where the water was coming from that water at the back of the tent, and it stayed pretty much dry. Now, certainly because it hasn't rained for a few hours, any surface water has had time to soak in. So that corner where there is a little bit of pool of water, there's no water inside. So my thoughts about this little experience. First of all, I wouldn't normally have ever picked a rain warning to come camping. I would have stayed home unless I really had to go somewhere. But like all of you who are outdoors people know, you need a shelter that's going to keep you dry. Hypothermia is a definite risk, especially in the winter, at any time of year really, but certainly now. And the last thing you want is your bed to be wet and your clothes to be wet. This tent definitely performed well. I think it performed as well as it possibly could have under the circumstances of heavy rain, moderate rain, light rain mixed for up to 13 to 14 hours solid. Overall, I still continue to be very pleased. I don't think you could have asked for anything more from this tent. As for all of this, my feeling is that regardless of the kind of tent you had, even with a good bathtub floor, now you might not have had to keep trenching quite as much, but you would have had to do something about that water last night. The fact that it doesn't have a bathtub floor did mean that I had to put in extra effort. I don't think I could have got away with doing nothing, even if I'd had my MSR tent, which has got a good bathtub floor in it. I would have wanted to divert the water in some way. I wouldn't have wanted to just leave it building up underneath the floor. Eventually something's going to give. My feeling is I'm pretty confident about this setup now. I feel I've got to bring something that I can trench with for sure. Definitely the ground sheet under my bed was absolutely dry, and the Tyvek worked adequately for the area that I was tromping all over with firewood and my food and my muddy feet. So that seemed to be all right. If it was going to be a lighter, longer rain again, I might consider putting in the full tarp on the floor. And that's what I was out here to do today, was to learn a little bit more about winter camping. And I'm now going to take the tent down, take it home, dry it off, wipe it off, and be ready to go again. Thank you everybody for watching, and again, thank you to all of you viewers who sent your suggestions and ideas. I have lots of other ideas I can draw on if, again, I want to change this up. But I feel like I've learned a lot, and I appreciate all the time, the effort you took to write your thoughts to me. So happy camping, and I'll see you out here, not in a heavy rain warning, hopefully next time, but in a nice winter day and night when I can sit outside for a while and have a fire instead of being cooped up. All right, bye for now.